beautiful ones. Thank you for joining me for this reading. It's an energy reading for the invitations coming in for us for the year 2026. I've got my little puppy here as well. You can just about see his head. And I'm using Doni Amoris Soul Freedom Energy Card Deck. We'll see whether it's a 3-card reading or whether it's just 1 card or 2 cards, because recently, as I've done the readings, it's been 2 cards, so we'll see. But anyway, the intention is just to be open to clear messages from Spirit about the invitations for all of us, so as a collective, for all of us, for the year 2026. Okay, so I'm just gonna shuffle. Oop. Okay, there is this. So, yeah. And I'm just, let's see. Okay, what is it? Which card is it? It's this. So this is courage. Oh. Now, does that mean that next year could be quite tricky to navigate? It's a possibility, but I will read out the synopses in the little booklet as well. Okay, courage. Perhaps it's going to be about courage, having the courage to be who we really are, having the courage to move from love to go into the heart. I think sometimes the most tricky thing, if there's been a lot of worries or traumas, what it's like to open up the heart again, and the worries. If I'm very honest and clear about something about myself or what I feel is needed, or what I believe in, and if the results and the responses have been really negative, then we may be really, really reluctant to do that again if it's been constant. But I think that this year is the year to really express ourselves and to come together as a community for the good of all, the good of all of us. Okay, so to come from a place more of love than of material things, the survival need for, we do need to have things that we have to have, like a home and food and all our, we have to have our computers and stuff so that we can manage, but it's just the idea that if one human is suffering, because we're all parts of the whole, and we're all part of this planet. If one part suffers, it also applies to the animals. If some of the animals are suffering, all of us suffer. If a human is suffering, all of us suffer too, and so do the animals and the plants. You pick up all that pain and all that energy which is emanating off the ones who are suffering. So I think perhaps courage is the time to say, well, no more wars. Yeah, no more waste of food. Can we please share more? And it's not going to cost much more to do that. And can we please do that? Okay. It's going to be 2 cards. Okay, no more than 2. So what's the second one? So I'm splitting the deck and it's going here. It's also the courage to be who you are, really, and just not worry about what anyone says. And also not use the anticipated responses as a reason for not speaking your mind, okay? So this is the second one. Co-creation. We need to come together for more collaborations, for more discussions, and yes, there will be disagreements. We have to hammer things out. It's interesting. It's a 9 card and it's an 8 card. Okay, for those who are interested in numerology, that might be interesting. And then 9 plus 8 is 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8. And 8 is generally, for abundance, 9 is completion. Perhaps we are completing these things about all these aspects where it does require courage to do something, and perhaps by the time we finish with this, it's just natural to speak and to be, yeah, and to allow ourselves to be fully witnessed. And then the co-creations and the synchronicities as to who you can then co-create things and collaborate things with, that will be much easier to spot, and much more, it will flow much more. But definitely, I think all peoples of the world need to come together. We need to have like a huge power, and not the politicians. Not the politicians, because they have their own agendas, and they have their support companies or support people saying, no, we can't lose out here, and you've got to push this agenda, or you've got to push that policy. No, it's the whole of, yes, get them to join in, but I don't think they're very good spokespeople for us anymore. I think it's become very obvious that grassroots and the majority, we need to speak up, and we need to co-create together. Perhaps it starts in small communities, and then it builds up, and then you have the power of unity, and even in a small community of 50, and you have agreements. Okay, there'll be disagreements and stuff, but you have an agreement. This is how we want to go, and it's going to make sure all of us benefit. And apologies for that. We've had the postman, and the dog loves to bark, and then he almost did again, so I had to stop. So, as I was saying, there needs to be collaboration, a co-creation, yeah, and even amongst small communities, and then for all those communities perhaps to speak to other communities, and start to build up a strong voice, and a strong but functional way of making decisions which are going to be the best for taking into account everyone. So that's kind of what I'm getting. I'm sure you may have heard of some astrologers talking about that, and it's coming quite strongly into my mind as well. So I think it's also a really good year for collaborations, creating with the intention of love, of good things, of beauty, of art. Someone said that with the onslaught of AI and lots of things being created with the use of AI, which is fine in its own way, but because it'll be so, the market will be so flooded with this sort of stuff, that there will be a return to handmade, human-made things which can't really be replicated. Yeah, that the connection with the muses and the artistic expression, which has to be kind of transferred directly in art, in carpentry, perhaps in painting or drawing or other things, in sculpture. And sure, I know that nowadays you can print, 3D printers and stuff, but there's something also about a spontaneous creation or movement towards something, which says a lot about being human. So I kind of feel that that was a great it's not a prophecy, but a great suggestion that's what might happen. So I think we also have to perhaps feel less anxious about that, okay, and know that all the good things about being human will come through, but it comes through a lot of this, and it comes through a lot of that. So that's what we need to hold on to the brightest, lightest, most loving aspects of humans, of being human, of how we are able to share, how we take care. We have to learn from the native peoples again, and perhaps, get advice from them, and perhaps start doing it ourselves as well. Reconnect to that wisdom, which is wisdom which is already within us, which is there, which just takes meditation, a bit of discipline and structure to do that. And the wisdom is always that nothing is ever lost. When it comes to scientific things and stuff, yeah, that can be a bit tricky, because it takes a huge jump of your left brain, to access that. But even so, there are jumps. I think there's a lot of imagination which is involved in that, which is more the right brain. So anyway, take heart, but we are asked to speak up, stand up, have courage as you do it, and co-creation as well. And I will quickly, because I really chatted quite a bit and not referred to the book. The intention is take bold steps toward realizing your dreams, enjoy life more. Yes. So that's to courage, joy, and action. So it's the joy in being yourself, in doing what you want, and creating the platform for it. Or if it doesn't exist already, generating the energy for it to exist. Embrace the spark of divine courage within and take bold steps toward realizing your dreams. As you move forward with confidence, allow joy to guide your actions. This brings more fulfillment and excitement into your life and into the energy, which then helps things to really work a lot faster and a lot better and a lot easier. Trust in your own abilities and know that every courageous act brings you closer to a life filled with purpose and happiness. Co-creation. The intention: invite the energy of gratitude into your life and manifest miracles. The key energies are abundance, joy, and peace. Open your heart to the energy of gratitude, for it is the key to co-creating miracles in your life. Now is the time to align yourself with joy and appreciation. Let abundance flow effortlessly and bring peace and fulfillment into every aspect of your being. So this is also very much about co-creation with spirit, with all the energies around us. Trust in your divine power to manifest your dreams into reality. Know that the universe supports you in creating a life of limitless possibilities. But I also feel it's very much co-creation with each other, okay? With the race, with the tribe of humans. Let us move towards a more loving and evolved state. Have the courage to do that, and the courage also to say no, not like that, that's enough. Okay, so have a wonderful new year. I hope you be enjoying yourselves fantastically and having lots of good company, lots of good food, and that there's a beautiful, you feel the energy of all the angelic forces and your committees, all your spirit guides and high selves of your ancestors, cheering you on. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And that all the celebration just brings a wave of abundance and joy for everyone. Okay, namaste. Have a wonderful new year. Have lots of fun and do enjoy yourself.